Well, welcome back to the AHRK Path.
Yes, my name is Bernard,
And I'm Casey.
and if you're watching this on audio only, you are missing the smile that I don't have on today. But if you're watching the video, see, it's like I'm pushing to get
Yeah.
that grin, that smile going. Hey, I'm smiling today.
And I'll fill in that gap. It's been an uphill journey to get to this moment, and we're only an hour behind.
And it's only
Uh,
9:30.
and it's only 9:30. And we were in contact with each other before 8:30, which was where we were going to start this process because we had a meeting coming up. So all that to say, this moment right here is pursued. It's powerful. It's desired. We had to have a relentless resiliency. I'll say that again, relentless resiliency to get here.
I love that.
And the work is going to be worth it.
I'm gonna write that on my arm today. Relentless resiliency, and I'm sure I'm gonna need to remember that. I'll probably forget it in the next 2 minutes.
Amen. And that's okay. I'll come back and remind you of relentlessness and resiliency to bounce back and choose it. Today we're engaging community, and really the best part about this podcast is that Bernard and I just reminded ourselves of the community that we exist in together. Our friendship, our choices, our ability to be apart, and our ability to come back together. And whether we are separate or together, we still have community.
Mm.
And that's kind of, we're mulling that over as we jump into this podcast. And we really want to invite other people to recognize that join the journey of being on the in crowd. And when I say the in crowd, that almost causes somebody else to wonder, well, what's the out crowd? And really the key to the AHRK Path is that everybody's in who wants to be in.
Love
There is no out.
Love that.
And so welcome to the AHRK Path.
That's right. And the question that we're asking at the end, again, we go to the end and we come back, is who do you call friend?
Mm.
And who do you call friend? As we talk about the in crowd, the out crowd, and who do you call friend? What is it, this community that, as you visualize, as we say community, you start to visualize faces from, your parents, siblings, spouse, children, friend, whatever it is. Who do you call friend? What when you see their images in your mind, what's the word? What's the label that you slap onto them?
Yeah.
And how many do you call friend?
And we can try to, we won't dig into this too deep, but I there's a whole lot of different approaches to social media, but I think the word friend has truly been redefined around social media.
Yes.
It was different for us growing up.
Yes.
If you had a neighbor who was about your age, they were your friend. Because hey, I'm gonna go to my friend's house. We're gonna go play. We're gonna go do something.
Yes.
We would ride our bikes to go find our friends.
Yes.
And it's different today.
Yes.
And so as we engage this forward, what is it to be a part of community? We have an AHRK Path community, and the number of people in there, percentage-wise, gosh, I'm in that community every day, but I don't know 50% of the room.
Yeah.
That's generous, and yet they're a part of my community that is a private, closed group. Are they my friends?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We've got some work to do today.
We do. And the idea that the challenge is how do we redefine the word? But you have 8 billion people on the planet, and they define the word friend very differently. I mean, I think we all do, and I think what we're looking for is, what is that commonality? What is it that we have in common? What is it that we have in common in our understanding of the word friend? But then what is it that we have in common with even each other? I mean, so the word and our relationship is the same thing.
Yep.
I'm bringing that into alignment, going, what is it that I have in common with Casey? What is it, in what areas, in what words, in what channels, in what thoughts do I look at him as friend? And how do we take that same concept and, the hard ones, your parents, how do you look at your parents and go, friend? In what areas is your mom, your dad, your siblings, and what areas are they friends?
So two things. One, I want to just put a little infomercial tag in here that last week, so if you're listening to the podcast, it's not last week, but we last week did a insight line on love your enemies, and we defined a little bit of what is enemy. And so I'm enjoying it in this moment that today we're talking about friendship and
Yes.
a contrast to there. So go listen to that insight line, loving your enemies. The beauty of that is we actually defined enemy as not friend.
Mm,
And that's just the root of that word. When somebody's not your friend, then they are your enemy. It's an anti-friend in that element. I want to change the terms to winners and losers, and I really believe that we want our friends to win. And where we're going to bring this in is it's an old Covey 7 habits mentality, but it's genius and it's gold, but it's win-win. It's We want to see our friends win, and we want to win with our friends.
yes.
And the more that we win and they win together, the better our friendship is going to grow. It's not a friend of yours who you're like, I'm going to take you down and I'm going to make you a loser.
Yeah.
And what we want to capture here is that you've been designed for friendship. You've been designed, you and I both have been designed to be in a win-win relationship more of the time. And how do we go about that on the ARC path? And why do we go about that on the ARC path?
I love that. And really that bucket that what Casey's talking about, a group of friends that connect together, that are in a relationship, we call that community.
Hmm.
I mean, it's that transaction. If you have 10 people that are friends standing there, not talking to, not transacting with each other, not connecting, not authentically connecting with each other, that's not community. You can label a
Hmm.
friend. No, no, I'm with my friends. If you're not transacting with your friends in a loving, caring, fun way, then they're not your friends.
Yeah, and if they're not, the social media post is if your circle's not cheering you on, they're a cage, not a circle of
Mm,
friendship. And so if they're not lifting you up and pushing you forward, they're actually holding you back.
mm,
Another metric you can look at is, do I feel tolerated or do I feel celebrated?
yes.
And anywhere you feel tolerated and held back, don't call those people friends.
Yes.
And at the same time, then you look at that and you go, oh gosh, do I have any friends? Who's cheering me on? Who's celebrating? Who's waiting to hear what I have to say in order to say, wow, that's amazing. I'm so glad you shared that with me. We need more friends.
But we're waiting. We're waiting for our friends to step up and acknowledge the amazingness, the phenomenalness, the fantasticness. None of these are real words about me.
Hmm.
What's wrong? The world is so messed up. They can't see all of this. So until they do, I'm not going to. I am not going to reach out, and I'm not going to give words of affirmation. I'm not going to do, acts of service. I'm not going to gift my friends. And it's just we're waiting on the world to see how amazing I am. And until it does, I'm just going to hold back.
Yeah, because the world is set up with winners and losers.
Mm,
And the only way to not be a loser is to win. This is the anti-win-win mentality per se. There's a whole lot of other options, but as you just boil it down to this, and you go, look, I'm either going to be a winner or a loser, so I'm going to choose winning. And I'm going to work harder, I'm going to run faster, I'm going to achieve more, and I will win. And that means you're going to have to lose.
mm,
So don't hold me back. And what that creates, um, setting this up for you here, it creates busyness. You've got to be busy because if you're idle, then somebody's going to pass you up.
mm.
So the winner loser mentality creates busyness, and it creates busyness as a contrast to truly being in business. And Bernard and I, sitting here on the ARC Path, we're in the business of building people up. We're in the business of inviting you to choose a lifestyle of better choices. We are in the business of saying there's hope, there's opportunity, there's desire, and everybody wins in our business. Is that even real?
Well, it better be. Because the alternative, as Casey was describing it, and it's a time paradox, and what that means is that, well, which comes first, and the reality that, well, in order to, to change the future, you have to live into the present. But now that you know what the future is, can you go back and change the past? And I'm gonna get myself in trouble there, but the reality is that winners and losers. Do I have to
Hmm.
lose to win? Do I have to win today to lose tomorrow? and the ARC path makes it so simple.
Yeah. And part of the reason why that is because we embrace the power of accountability as an above the line metric. It's responsibility, accountability, and ownership move us above the line in our relationships, in our community, in our leadership. But accountability does not equal conformity,
Mm.
and that's a huge insight that I can be in an accountable relationship with you, Bernard, but I don't have to become like you, Bernard. That's a really good thing. If you're not, if you again, if you're maybe you're not watching, you're hearing it on the audio, you don't know my smile to say, I don't have to become like Bernard. Oh, that would be a lot of work and I'd never get there.
Yes.
And Bernard's not going to become like me. That's a lot of work and he's never going to get there.
Right.
But the accountability is to Bernard's better for Bernard and Casey's better for Casey. And the ARC path says this is individually universal.
Mm.
There is a better path for each one of us.
So I tried to slow him down. It didn't work.
Yeah, good luck.
It didn't work with that. I know you want to know more about winners and losers. I know you want to know how does the winner and loser thread through friendship? How do I show up in my friends' lives and win? By the way, I have to lose first, and then in order to lose, I have to win. What does that even mean? But you already know deep down, you know that you have to show up in your friend's life. You have to be real. You have to be authentic. You have to put yourself out there, and they might crush you because they're gonna judge you and
Mhm.
curse you for being so weak and vulnerable. And then, but if imagine if you put yourself out there and they crush you, imagine is there a chance you're gonna be born again? Is there a chance that you're gonna win intimacy and connection? And then where he took you guys is, are you just gonna conform? I wrote it down. Are you gonna conform to your normal engagement and relationship
Where everybody's a loser.
where everybody's a loser? There
Join
are no
in.
winners. Or oh well, yes, yes. Unless I crush everybody and then I win. Oh wait, do I win if I crush everybody?
That well,
Some people think so.
according to what rules are you playing by? And that's the tension that gets created. Is all it takes is one person to rise up and say, I will crush you,
Yes.
and they are creating a winner loser mentality, which
Yes.
corrupts community. It
Mm.
breaks it away, and then we go into this isolation mode of I don't want to play with you. Now, it also only takes one person to choose to say win-win is always available. This is the most mindset shifting engagement that I can give you in that element is that win-win is up to you, not the person you're playing with or working with.
Yeah.
Always available, and here's why: is because there's no such thing as a loser who learned. Let's just drop that there for you. If losers who learn are no longer losers, they gained. And so every time that I find myself in a place that feels like I lost something, all I have to do is look for the win, and then I've learned something. And now, as I've learned, I am stepping forward in my path of being better. And if I'm better, I didn't lose.
Mm.
I won.
I love
Did
that.
I say that slow enough?
You did. It's just, you know what? It's hard. I mean, you have to go back and rewind it and go, I believe that. I know it. I mean, again, I love what you said. I believe we know it.
Yeah.
But it's how much do we believe that? How real is that to us? And what I was jotting down is, if we put the word friend, what does a friend do, and what does a friend not do?
Mm-hmm.
And then go measure your day.
Yeah.
Go measure what is it that you did today. How did you show up as a friend to your boss, to your coworkers, to your customer, to your vendor, to your spouse, to your children, to your parents? How did you show up? What did you do? And what did you know? What are the things that you did that you shouldn't have done? Yeah, I know.
So let's make it as practical as I can. Be seen, be heard, be understood, and be loved. Okay. Be, if you want to be a better friend, see people. Like
Uh,
actually slow down and make eye contact. See them. Hey, nice shoes, Bernard. I like those. What kind are they? I saw his shoes. Now, so what? But yet, how many times do people actually give you a compliment or ask you a question that's tangible to you? See it, hear it, hey, this is what I'm hearing you say, and I'm listening to understand, see, hear, see, hear, understand, and then you connect and you build that, and then love.
Yeah.
There's a know in their concept as well, but to truly be a friend is to be present with somebody. And as you are present with somebody, you become that gift.
Mm, I that's it. It sounds easy, and it is easy. It sounds easy,
It's a choice.
but it's a choice.
It's a
It's a
choice.
choice.
It's a choice not to be busy.
Well, and it just I don't know what it is. I think the world was much slower paced. There was a whole lot less stuff to do, and it was the natural element of hanging out was present. As we created more stuff, as we bought
Mm-hmm.
into more stuff, as we
Mm-hmm.
bought, I mean, as we bought into social media, going, this is gonna make my life better. It did, but we have to learn, how do you thread that into your life without it overtaking your life, without you being too busy, without having, but I want to have all of my hobbies, I want to have all of my stuff,
Yeah.
and then you go, wait, but I'm missing an important thing.
So I'll drop a parenting insight should you want it. You can just fast forward this if you don't want to hear it. The greatest source of creativity in your children's lives is boredom.
Mm,
The greatest source of creativity in all of our lives is boredom. We are so overstimulated
yes.
in our current culture. This is not nostalgia to go back to where we were before, but it's to learn how to unplug, to learn
Yes.
how to turn off, to learn how to be present. To as we were chatting, to be okay to be home alone
Yes.
and to go, it's okay.
That's
I
okay.
don't have to go find an external stimulation to justify my existence today.
Yes.
I can be at peace with me. Oh, and so I'm gonna. You want to touch that, or just I'm gonna keep going?
Well, no, I mean, it's funny. It's I'll just share a story. I love that. I used to travel all around the world, and that was my job for business. And my favorite thing about traveling was, you get on a plane and you have to turn your phone off. And it was and I put my headsets on and I would just read and write, and it was my favorite part. I looked forward to going and coming back just so that I could have those moments,
Mm-hmm.
which is, that stillness, it wasn't boredom by any means, but it was that's the space. And other people, they would watch movies on the plane and listen to music. I just so celebrated, just sitting there and just that quietness.
Just to complement that thought, I still choose to believe that there's no Wi-Fi or access to the phones on the plane.
Yes. Oh yeah.
My mindset, I choose to be in like ignorant mode. Like, no, it's not available. I can't check checks. I can, but I can't. Then I tell myself, no, well, it would be so expensive. I
Yes.
have to tell myself something. I'm lying to myself in that way
Correct.
to choose. I can just relax.
Yes.
I could actually read a book and turn the cover. Angela laughs at me when I bring like 3 books when we're gonna fly and go somewhere. She's all, you could download those, and no, I want this is that time. I'm gonna spend 3 hours just
Turning
reading,
pages. Turning
uh,
pages.
and it's like, well, I could do that when I'm home, but I don't.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm celebrating.
It's beautiful. I mean, and that's, I think, if you can feel that, if you can be in that space with yourself, by yourself,
Hmm.
it's a great way to prep yourself to be in a space with others,
Hmm.
where you can be still, where you can listen, you can celebrate the emotions and the encounters of others around you. I think if you cannot be in that space, you've come to the right place.
Yeah.
Welcome to the ARC Path, because that's one of the things that we're going to keep talking about. Is we're going to help you get in touch with you, and we're going to recruit you to help us with you, to get in touch with you, so that when you show up anywhere else, you're transformed.
Because if you're not being the authentic self of you, um, you're going to be in a win-lose reality. I mean,
Yes.
the win and lose is not about you versus others. Win and lose is about you going, how do I show up as me? And then if you're going to come away going, well, I didn't do it well today, I lost, become a learner,
Yes.
step back in and just go, it doesn't have to be hard to be me. There's a pause there on purpose. It doesn't have to be hard to be me,
Yes.
but sometimes it is. My life is not easy. They don't understand me. No one really sees me. No one's listening to me. Oh, those are the opposite words I've just kind of unpacked about how do we do community really well.
Yeah.
And you got to find people. Otherwise, you feel like you're in a cage being held back. You're being tolerated. This is not what life is designed for. This is why we've built the AHRK Path to say, let's walk on this path of a lifestyle of better choices. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I want to be understood. That is a righteous want. And I mean that in a good sense. It's like you have worth. You have a contribution. You have something the world needs. And if you don't bring it, the world is going to still be looking for it.
I love that.
And so show up today.
Yes, show up today. And again, it's friendship. Labels. Put labels on people, and take off the labels that you had on them. You know, see somebody as a friend before they are a friend, and relate to them as a friend, and then see what happens. They will live into that label you put on them. You put a label of enemy on there, and I promise you, they will show up as your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's shift things. Let's look at our family. Don't start with the other side of town. Start with home, your business. Just put a pair of glasses. Write the word friend on it. You have to write it, whatever. Mirror it, and then you just, as you see somebody, let it be friend. Oh, friend. And then as your mind tells you, no, they're not a friend, push past that. See others, see your family, your friends, your community, your coworkers as a friend, and then show up in their lives as a friend, and then see what happens.
And if somebody chooses not to be your friend, then the biblical call, this is the insight line that we did, then love them, even as an enemy.
Yes.
And that is available. And that's how we get away from the win-lose opportunity.
Yes.
This is, if you want to be my friend, then we're going to win together. You want to
Yes.
be my enemy, then I'm going to love you through it.
Yes.
And you go, so either way, whether you choose to be my friend or my enemy, I'm going to win the opportunity to either be celebrated or to grow into a new understanding of how to love you. This is the victorious path. This is the celebration of the kingdom. Welcome to the AHRK Path. You are worthy, and you have great worth to this world. Come be our friend.
Yes.
That's really what we're inviting you into.
Yes.
I'll end it with just that concept. John Maxwell's an author that I really enjoy. When you hear him speak, in every message he gives audibly, just go YouTube John Maxwell. You will hear him use this line: "My name is John, and I'm your friend." And he repeats that about 17 times in the first 3 minutes of his message. Because in his, 70 plus years of life, the one thing he has found as he leans into leadership, community building, transformation, coaching, people need friends. And there's not enough out there.
Amen.
So my name is Casey, and I'm your friend.
My name is Bernard, and I'm your friend.
And we look forward to being on the AHRK Path with you.